You're sitting there right now, wondering why she went cold, why the text slowed down, why the energy shifted. And here's what nobody's telling you. It wasn't because you weren't good enough. It was because you lost yourself in the process. You abandoned your own identity trying to hold on to hers. You gave up your center to become her emotional support system. And the moment you stopped being a complete person on your own, something in the dynamic collapsed. If you're tired of losing yourself in relationships, if you're done sacrificing your peace for temporary connection, then you need to understand something fundamental. Attraction isn't about control. It's about maintaining who you are while sharing space with someone else. And by the end of this, you'll understand exactly how. So do yourself a favor. Don't click away. Don't scroll. Because what I'm about to share will challenge everything you believe about healthy attraction. And if you're ready for real growth, you'll let it. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you respected something that had no boundaries? Think about it. That friend who always says yes. You stop asking their opinion because you know they'll agree. That person who's always available. You stop prioritizing them because they've made it clear you're always their priority. The human mind assigns value based on integrity. When something has shape, structure, standards, we respect it. When something bends to every pressure, we unconsciously devalue it. And yet most men approach relationships by erasing their own boundaries completely. They show up constantly, reply within seconds, rearrange their entire existence around her schedule. They think this builds connection. What it actually builds is imbalance. Here's the part that's hard to hear. Your constant availability isn't being read as love. It's being interpreted as absence of purpose. Because when you're always there, always responsive, always emotionally flexible without limits, you're communicating something you don't mean to. You have nothing else pulling you forward. No mission, no internal world that exists independent of her validation. And the moment someone senses that they've become your entire universe, the dynamic shifts. Not because they're cruel, but because healthy attraction requires two complete people choosing each other, not one person dissolving into another. Now, I'm not telling you to disappear or play games. That's weak. What I'm telling you is this: maintaining your own life isn't a strategy, it's a requirement. A person who is genuinely engaged, with purpose, growth, meaningful work, doesn't have unlimited time to distribute. Their attention becomes naturally selective because their life demands focus. And when their presence is intentional rather than automatic, it carries meaning. When they're quiet, it's not punishment. It's genuine engagement elsewhere. And that space does something most people don't understand. It allows both people to maintain their individual identities while building something together. Because here's what happens when you maintain your own life. She doesn't wonder if you're playing games. She sees someone who has direction, someone who isn't waiting around for her to give his life meaning, someone who would be fulfilled even if she wasn't there, but chooses to include her anyway. This isn't manipulation. This is healthy interdependence. The difference between I need you to feel complete and I'm complete, and I want to share that with you. One creates pressure, the other creates attraction. Most men are terrified of maintaining space. They think if they're not constantly reinforcing the connection, it'll fall apart. But that fear reveals the real issue. You don't trust that who you are is enough. And lack of self-trust is what kills attraction faster than anything else. The person who is comfortable with space signals something different. They signal self-sufficiency, confidence in their own value, a life that continues meaningfully whether someone joins it or not. That's not arrogance. That's self-respect. And self-respect is magnetic because it's rare. Here's the shift. When you stop abandoning yourself to maintain a connection, when you stop over-explaining your every move, when you allow natural rhythm instead of forced constant contact, you're not being distant, you're being whole. You're creating healthy balance. And balance is what keeps relationships alive long-term. Connection exists in the space between togetherness and independence. Remove all independence and you remove the foundation of respect. And if you're still watching, if you've made it this far, I need you to do something. Stop treating this like entertainment and start treating it like the growth opportunity it is. Subscribe right now. Not because I need you to, but because you're investing in understanding relationship dynamics that most people never learn. hit that button. Because everything I'm sharing here comes from understanding patterns that create healthy, lasting attraction. And if you're serious about becoming the kind of person others genuinely want to be with, you'll want access to everything that's coming. Now, let's go deeper. Because maintaining your own life is only one piece. The real transformation happens when you understand the importance of emotional self-leadership. Most men live in reaction mode. She pulls back. They chase frantically. She tests. They defend desperately. She goes cold. They overcompensate with intensity. Every reaction sends the same message. Her emotional state dictates your stability. And the moment that pattern is established, respect diminishes. Not because you're weak, but because you've shown that your emotional center depends entirely on her. Think about the people you respect most in your life. Real leaders. Not people who demand respect, but people who naturally earn it. They don't ask permission to be themselves. Don't shift their entire personality based on someone else's mood. Don't crumble under pressure or abandon their values when questioned. They hold their ground calmly, and others naturally align because they sense integrity. Healthy relationships work the same way. When you operate from your own values, your own emotional center, your own standards, you stop reacting to every shift in mood and start maintaining your own stability. And emotionally stable people don't repel others, they attract them. But here's where most men misunderstand. They mistake emotional self-leadership for being cold, rigid, or unavailable. That's not strength, that's defense. True emotional maturity is calm. It's the ability to remain grounded when someone's testing your boundaries, to not abandon yourself when someone withdraws affection temporarily, to maintain your standards without needing someone else's approval to validate them. Because when you change your entire personality based on someone's moods, when you adjust everything to avoid any discomfort, when you rush to fix every moment of tension, you're showing that external validation governs your internal state. And once that's clear, respect begins to fade. Women, and people in general, don't test because they want drama. They test because they need to know if you're solid, if your sense of self can handle emotional weather, if you'll abandon your standards under pressure or hold them with calm confidence. And here's what most men miss. These aren't conscious tests. They're instinctive evaluations of emotional maturity. And when you over-explain, when you chase clarity desperately, when you ask, "Are we okay?" with panic in your voice, you're failing an evaluation you didn't know was happening. The person who maintains emotional self-leadership doesn't need to ask if things are okay. They know they're okay regardless of someone else's temporary mood. They don't seek constant emotional guarantees. They don't demand immediate resolution to every uncomfortable moment. They allow relationships to have natural ebb and flow without forcing artificial harmony. And that patience, that refusal to collapse into neediness, creates genuine respect. Because when you're not bending to emotional weather, when your center doesn't shift, people start trusting your stability. Not because you demanded it, but because consistency is rare, and people gravitate toward what's steady. Here's what this looks like in practice. She says something designed to get a reaction. Maybe she's frustrated. Maybe she's processing something. Maybe she's just having a bad day. The unhealthy response: panic, over-explanation, immediate people-pleasing. Wait, what's wrong? Did I do something? How can I fix this right now? That's emotional dependence. The healthy response: calm presence, genuine listening. But not abandoning yourself in the process. Because when you don't panic, when you allow space for emotions without making them about you, you send a clear message. I care about you, but I'm not destabilized by your moods. I'm here with you, not consumed by you. And that distinction, felt, not spoken, is what builds lasting attraction. Most men are so afraid of any conflict that they'll abandon their own needs to keep someone comfortable. They'll tolerate behavior that violates their values, accept treatment they know is beneath their worth, stay silent when they should speak up, all because they believe holding boundaries will push someone away. But here's the truth that'll set you free. Any relationship that requires you to abandon yourself to maintain it isn't healthy. If your presence requires constant self-erasure, constant compromise of your core values, constant proof that you'll tolerate anything, it has no foundation. And when you finally accept that, when you become willing to honor yourself even if it means someone walks away, something powerful happens. People stop testing to see how far they can push. They start investing to meet you at your level. Now, if you've been nodding along, if this is resonating, then you already know what to do. Subscribe, not later, right now. Because this isn't just theory. This is how healthy relationships actually work. And if you want the deeper breakdowns, the advanced understanding that takes this even further, you stay connected. You don't wait until you're desperate. You build your foundation now while you're thinking clearly. So go ahead, hit subscribe, then come back, because we're just getting to the transformative part. Let's talk about something that makes most people uncomfortable. The reality that mystery isn't about playing games. It's about maintaining your own internal world. Human beings don't remain fascinated by what they've completely figured out. Fascination requires discovery, a sense that there's more beneath the surface. And if you've been explaining every thought, narrating every feeling, defining every aspect of yourself from day one, you've been eliminating the very thing that makes someone want to know you deeper, the sense that you're a complete person with layers worth discovering. Here's what most men believe. Total transparency creates trust. Trust creates security. Security creates lasting connection. And in theory, that sounds right. But in practice, it eliminates what keeps someone mentally engaged, the desire to understand you more. Because when everything is explained, when there are no unexplored dimensions, when someone knows your every reaction before you have it, their mind stops being curious. There's nothing left to discover, no depth to explore, no layers to peel back. And when curiosity dies, mental engagement fades. Think about the people who fascinate you most, the ones you can't quite figure out. What makes them compelling? They reveal themselves gradually. They have depth that unfolds over time. They're present but not completely transparent about every internal process. That's not deception. That's having a rich internal world. The human mind values what it discovers through investment. When you hand someone your entire psychological blueprint immediately, they don't have to invest in understanding you. But when you maintain some privacy, some internal space, some aspects of yourself that unfold naturally over time, their mind engages. They start paying attention, asking questions, seeking to understand. And the more mentally invested they become, the more valued you become, not because you tricked them, but because they chose to invest in knowing you. Now, I'm not saying be secretive or dishonest. I'm saying this: stop narrating your every internal state in real time. Stop explaining every emotion the moment you feel it. Stop rushing to define yourself completely before someone has had time to be curious. Because when you do that, you're not building intimacy. You're eliminating the natural process of discovery that creates it. Here's what healthy mystery looks like. It's someone who is genuine, but not performing their every thought. Present, but not dependent on constant validation. Open when it matters, but comfortable with silence. They don't withdraw as punishment, but they also don't feel obligated to fill every quiet moment with explanation. They let the relationship develop naturally. They allow someone to wonder what makes them tick, what drives them, what they're passionate about beyond the relationship. And that wondering, that natural curiosity someone develops when they realize you're a complete person, is where deep attraction forms. Because here's the psychological reality. People value what they discover themselves. When you explain everything, hand someone every answer, remove every question mark, they don't have to invest mentally. But when you let your character reveal itself through actions over time, when you're comfortable not explaining your every motivation, when you trust that who you are will become clear through how you live, their mind engages differently. They start observing, noticing patterns, drawing their own conclusions. And the more mental energy someone invests in understanding you, the more important you become to them. Not because you manipulated them, but because investment creates value. That's basic psychology. Most men fear being misunderstood. They think if they're not constantly clarifying, constantly explaining, constantly making sure someone gets them, they'll be misjudged. But here's the counterintuitive truth. Being somewhat of a mystery is often healthier than being completely decoded too soon. When everything is explained, there's nothing left to discover. When every question is answered before it's asked, there's no reason to keep exploring. Familiarity is comfortable, but depth keeps someone engaged long-term. This doesn't mean being emotionally unavailable. It means having genuine substance that reveals itself naturally rather than all at once. It means your warmth is real, but your entire psychological world isn't laid out on day one. Your presence is genuine, but you're not performing constant emotional updates. You're felt, but not completely figured out in the first conversation. And that natural unfolding, depth discovered over time rather than dumped immediately, creates the kind of engagement that lasts. Here's where most men collapse. They can't handle any ambiguity. The moment there's any uncertainty, they rush in with complete transparency. They explain their entire position. They define everything. They try to establish total clarity before natural trust has formed. And every time they do that, they remove the natural tension that makes someone want to explore deeper. Because that tension, that sense that there's more to discover, is what keeps mental engagement alive. Remove it prematurely, and you remove what makes someone want to keep knowing you. Think about it like this. When someone realizes you have interests, passions, and depth beyond them, they're intrigued. When they discover you have standards and boundaries they didn't initially see, they respect you more. When they notice layers of character that reveal themselves over time, they stay engaged. This isn't manipulation. It's being a complete person who doesn't perform their entire self for validation. And completeness, genuine, grounded completeness, is rare enough to be magnetic. And here's the final piece, the one that makes everything else sustainable. The principle that separates people who maintain healthy relationships from those who lose themselves in them. It's simple, difficult, and absolutely essential. You have to genuinely be okay walking away from what doesn't serve your well-being, not as a threat, not as a tactic, but as a non-negotiable commitment to yourself. Because the moment someone senses that you'll tolerate anything to avoid being alone, that you need them more than you need your own peace, respect erodes. Not out of cruelty, but because self-abandonment isn't attractive. It's concerning. Most men say they have boundaries. Very few actually maintain them when tested. And people sense the difference. They feel it in how you respond to disrespect, in whether you tolerate behavior that contradicts your stated values, in whether you'll compromise your peace just to keep access to connection. And when they feel that you can't actually walk away, that losing them would destroy your stability, they stop relating to you as an equal. Not because they're manipulative, but because relationships require mutual respect, and you can't respect someone who doesn't respect themselves enough to have standards. Here's what healthy boundaries actually mean. It means you have non-negotiables you will not cross. It means you value your inner peace more than comfortable company. It means you're willing to be alone and growing rather than attached and diminishing. And that willingness, that genuine commitment to your own well-being, creates a fundamental shift in how people relate to you. Because when someone realizes that your presence in their life is a choice you actively make, not a desperate need you're fulfilling, they treat you differently. The person who maintains healthy boundaries doesn't argue endlessly, doesn't beg for treatment they deserve by default, doesn't chase explanations when actions speak clearly. They observe, they communicate clearly, they honor their standards calmly. And that calm self-respect is so rare in a world full of people who abandon themselves to avoid discomfort that when someone encounters it, it creates profound respect. Because they realize they're dealing with someone who knows their worth. And self-worth is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Walking away isn't about being cold. It's about having integrity. It's about knowing that if someone doesn't choose you with clarity, with respect, with genuine investment, then the relationship isn't aligned, and you're at peace with that, because you'd rather be alone and whole than attached and fractured. That posture, maintained through your actions, your boundaries, your peaceful firmness, communicates more than words ever could. It says, I value myself, and I'm only available to those who value me equally. Here's the paradox that transforms everything. The more secure you are in walking away from what doesn't serve you, the more people want to meet your standards. The more committed you are to your own well-being, the more others respect your presence. Not because you threaten them, but because your self-respect isn't negotiable. Your peace isn't for sale. Your presence is offered freely, but only where it's genuinely valued. And that creates natural, healthy selection. Most men try to become valuable by acquiring external things: status, appearance, achievements, and those matter, but they're not the foundation. The real transformation is internal. It's becoming someone who is emotionally stable, self-directed, at peace with themselves. Because when someone realizes that being in your life is a privilege you extend, not a need you're filling, the entire dynamic shifts. They don't try to test your limits. They try to meet your standards. And that's when connection becomes healthy, sustainable, and genuinely mutual. Because nothing is more attractive than someone who values themselves enough to walk away from what doesn't honor them. Someone who doesn't cling to potential, who doesn't stay for promises, who responds to reality, not hope. That person doesn't need tactics, doesn't need manipulation. Their strength is in their self-respect, not superiority, self-respect. They care deeply, but they're not held hostage by outcome. And that freedom, that emotional freedom, is what creates relationships worth having. So here's where everything comes together. Maintaining your own life makes you interesting. Emotional self-leadership makes you stable. Having genuine depth makes you engaging. And healthy boundaries make you valuable. These aren't manipulation techniques. They're not games. They're principles of being a complete, healthy person. And complete, healthy people don't chase connection desperately. They build lives worth sharing and invite others into them. You don't abandon yourself. You don't beg for basic respect. You don't explain yourself into worthiness. You simply exist as someone who knows their value, maintains their center, and refuses to compromise their peace for validation. And from that foundation, attraction isn't something you chase. It's something that develops naturally when two whole people choose each other. You don't play games. You don't manipulate. You don't perform. You just maintain who you are while being open to genuine connection. And the right people, the healthy people, don't run from that. They gravitate toward it. They respect it. They want to be part of it. And the ones who can't meet you at that level, they self-select out, which saves you years of trying to force compatibility that was never there. This is the transformation. And if you've made it this far, if you've absorbed what I've shared, then you already know you're different from most people. You're not looking for shortcuts to fake attraction. You're looking for genuine understanding of healthy relationship dynamics. And the truth is this: you have everything you need to become someone others genuinely want to be with. You just have to stop abandoning yourself for people who haven't earned that level of access. Stop negotiating your worth. Stop fearing solitude. And start building a life so fulfilling that people want to be part of it rather than the center of it. So here's my final invitation. If this resonated with you, if this shifted how you see healthy attraction, if you know you'll need these reminders when old patterns try to return, then subscribe. Not because I'm asking for a favor, but because you're smart enough to recognize that this understanding is valuable, that most people never learn these dynamics, that you're being given insight while others are still guessing. Lock it in, stay connected, and watch how everything shifts when you stop chasing validation and start choosing yourself first. Because the person who's right for you won't run when you maintain boundaries. They'll respect them. They'll meet you there. They'll build with you. And the one who can't handle your self-respect, they just saved you from a relationship that would have required you to be less than you are. Either way, you win. And that's the freedom everyone deserves. Now go build the life that makes that freedom real.